everybody, welcome to Human 2.0 Fitness. I'm Dr. Chris, and today we're doing a body weight strength and mobility routine. For this workout, you're going to need a few pieces of equipment. Ideally, you're going to need a mat, some yoga blocks, a wall that you can lean on, and some space on the floor for you to move. Having said that, let's get right to it, and we're going to start with our warm-up. So for the warm-up, we're going to do some jumping jacks, and then we're going to move into some other movements after that. First, we'll start out with 20 jumping jacks, nice and easy. And of course, if you don't want to do that high impact variation, you can do the low impact variation, which looks something like this. So after the jumping jacks, we're going to do some controlled articular rotations. We'll do the shoulder first, and then we'll do the hips. And we'll do 3 per side. Try to keep everything other than the shoulder that you're moving nice and rigid so that you can isolate the movement to that shoulder. If you want, you can hold a ball, a tennis ball, in your opposite hand to keep it contracted while you're doing this movement. So 3 per side. Now we're going to do the 3 controlled hip articulations. If you need to use something for balance, you can do that. Put your hand there just to make sure that you keep your balance because you want to focus on the hip articulation. And don't be surprised if you have one side that is more mobile than the other. But obviously over time, the goal is for us to have both sides have the same mobility. The next exercise that we're going to do is a low knees bear crawl. And you really don't need a lot of space for this. On the hands and knees, you want to try to keep your knees only 1 inch from the ground, and you want to protract the shoulders as you move. We'll do it forwards and backwards. And then the last exercise that we'll do for our warm-up is the diagonal stretch. And to do this exercise, you're going to start with your feet together or your heels together, 45-degree angle, and you'll slide one side back, touch that toe to the ground. Whichever side is in front, we're going to turn to that direction, arms out to the side to balance. We'll turn first, then lean back, try to touch the calf. And we're going to do 3 of these per side. Twist, lean back. Try to keep the bend in the rear leg and try to keep the front leg as straight as possible. And as with most exercises, you'll find that one side is easier than the other. As we go through this warm-up on the second set of these exercises, you'll find it's a little bit easier to perform than the first set because we're now starting to get nice and warm. So 20 jump jacks. Three shoulder articulations per side, and then 3 hip articulations per side. Remember with the shoulder articulations to reach the hand out as far and as high as it will go, while at the same time trying to isolate that shoulder joint. Nice and tall. Side. And if you're starting to breathe heavy during this, don't worry, because the controlled articular rotations are not a simple exercise to perform. Low knees bear crawl. Protract the shoulders. Forwards. Then backwards. One more time. Forwards. Then backwards. And finally, the diagonal stretch. And once we do this, we'll be done our warm-up, ready to work. 45-degree angle. Slide back, straighten the front leg, bend the rear, arms out, turn, then lean back. The target here is your thigh. As you get more flexible, you can work on coming to your calf. And if you're really flexible and really strong, you can come all the way down to your heel. And definitely, the diagonal stretch is really going to challenge your balance skills. All right, now that takes us through the warm-up. We're going to start off with our strength portion. So for the first exercise for the strength portion, we're going to work on our hamstrings and our posterior chain. So we're going to do the glute bridge walkout. And we're going to do 3 repetitions of this exercise. So you're going to start on your back, hands by your side, and basically we're going to come up into the glute bridge position with our knees at 90 degrees. And then here to this position, we're going to slowly walk our feet out, keeping our glutes active and our pelvis up towards the ceiling. Start again. If you have sliders, then you can use sliders to extend your legs in a slow and controlled manner. And for good measure, 1 more rep. Remember to keep your glutes active, your pelvis towards the ceiling. All right, so that's 3 or 4 glute bridge walkouts. The next exercise we're going to do is a tibia raise. So for this one, you're going to need to do that against the wall. So you can lean against the wall with both feet together. And we're going to do 10 raises. And all we're going to do is bring our toes up together as high as they'll go. For 10 repetitions. The next exercise that we're going to do, you'll need your yoga blocks for this. And we're going to do the shrimp squat. But we're going to do shrimp squat to a target. And so what we mean by that is that we're going to take the block, and depending on how strong you are and how flexible you are, you may need to stand the block on its end, on its side, or lay it flat. But basically, we're going to set up with the foot that we're working beside it. Then we're going to get ourselves, make sure we have good balance, and we're going to do a shrimp squat where we bring the knee down to the target and back up. Knee down to the target, back up. So this is all nice and controlled. We want to make sure that we keep our knee over the outside edge of our foot. And we keep our pelvis directed towards the front. Now, obviously, you may have one side that's a little bit stronger than the other, and it's more easy. If that's the case, you can bring the block down to a more challenging height. And we do our 5 repetitions each side. Ideally, we want to make sure that we don't allow the knee to collapse in as we do this. So at the same time that you're working on the actual squat, descending into the squat or the squat negative, you have to really activate the glute to drive the leg out to the side so that the knee stays over the outside edge of the foot. So we're going to do 5 per side, and then finally we're going to do some push-ups for the last exercise in our strength rotation. And for this, depending on your strength, you can do them on your knees or you can do them on your toes. But we want to make sure that we keep our shoulder or our scapula depressed and retracted, and that we bring our arms basically at nipple height. All right, so this is the position that we're going to load up in. And for these push-ups, we're going to do what's called a dead stop. So every time we come down and push up, hands come off the ground, chest all the way to the floor. And I think we're doing 10 of these. So push up, down, up, hit with the hands. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you're doing them from your knees, it will look like this. So those are the exercises that we're doing for our strength, for the strength segment. So those 4 exercises, we're going to go through again 2 more times. And this time, you're going to be working a little bit harder than you were with the first set. And we're going to try to make these look even prettier. So glute bridge walkouts, squeeze the pelvis, or squeeze the cheeks, and nice and control. Back up. We're doing 3 repetitions. But just because I know you guys look and feel strong, we'll do 1 more. Glute bridge walkouts. Nice. So now we're going to do the tib ant raises. Grab your wall space, your post, whatever. Lean back. 10 raises. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grab your yoga block for your shrimp squats. And of course, this goes without saying, anytime you need to take a rest or you need to grab a drink, then do so. Arms out. 5 repetitions. If you need to steady yourself, take a moment to do that. Switch. Ten push-ups with a lift. Again, sit up, hands at nipple height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice work. We have 1 more set of exercises. for the strength. Then we're going to move on to our next group of exercises. So, glute bridge walkouts, 3 repetitions. If you want to challenge yourself more, take smaller steps so that you need to keep yourself supported for a longer period of time before your butt touches the ground. And since this is our last time through, really challenge yourself. Let's do one more for good measure. Squeeze your glutes. Nice. What's the next one? Oh yeah, tip ant raises. 10 reps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just starting to get a little bit of a sweat going on here. Tells me that I'm starting to get warm. I'm working. 5 shrimp squats. Balance. Make sure you control yourself down to that target. Don't drop on it. You should be able to come down to the target, hold yourself in position, and have somebody remove the target, and you still be able to support yourself. Last but not least, the 10 push-ups. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice work. So that completes our first group of exercises that we're doing for our strength routine. Now let's move on to our next group of exercises. And this is going to be the mobility portion of our exercise or our workout today. So we're going to do 3 exercises. We're going to do some Superman pulls, some figure 4s, and some scorpions. So for the Superman pulls, pardon me, you're going to be down into an arch body position. And so for the arch body position, both hands and feet are off the ground. And then we're going to pull down to bring our elbows together. And we're going to do, how many? 10 of those, 10 Superman pulls in that position. So down, arms out straight, lift the arms, lift the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice work. Next one is our figure 4. So you're going to be on your back for this. One foot is going to be on the floor. The other is going to cross over at the ankle, across the thigh. And then we're going to reach through and pull that thigh to the chest. And we're gonna just do repetitions of this, and we'll do 5, and then we'll switch it to the other side. You should be feeling this along the side of your buttock for the leg that's crossed over. And this is basically an adaptation of the pigeon stretch. So that's our figure 4s. And the last exercise is scorpion. So you're going to lay in a prone position for that exercise. Arms out to the side in a T. And then we'll start with my right leg. We're going to bend that up and over. Try to touch your hand. Up, over, try to touch the opposite hand. And we'll do 4 reps per side. And this exercise is working on thoracic spine mobility with both flexion and rotation. Excellent. So that's the first time through, and then we're going to repeat that group of exercises again 2 more times for a total of 3 repetitions, or 3 times through this little group of exercises or this routine. So back to the Superman pulls. So we'll get back into our arched body position, feet together, arms out in front, up, pull. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to go to our figure 4s. So on the back, prone position. One heel stays flat. Cross over the other side. Reach through and pull to the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we're training, we're trying not to hold any position statically. We're trying to dynamically move through a full range of motion so that we can actively increase our mobility. And the last one are the scorpions. So back to a prone position, 4 per side, arms out. Nice. One more time through. If you need to grab a drink, do so. Or if you need to wipe yourself off with a towel, then do so. We have one last set of these exercises, and then we're going to wrap it up. So back to prone position, feet together, arms out, up. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. Onto our backs for figure fours. Cross over, reach through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross it over, reach through. 1, 2, 3. And for the last exercise, back onto the front for the scorpions. 4 reps per side. And really make an attempt to try to curl up and touch your hand if you can. One more. Excellent work. So that wraps up our set of mobility exercises. As we are now nice and warm, nice and sweaty, we're going to do a little stretch before we send you off on whatever you have planned for the rest of the day. So we're going to work on a little bit of hamstring flexibility, as well as some quadricep flexibility, and a little bit for the arms as well. So for the hamstring, we're going to sit back on one leg, bend the opposite knee, bring the heel to the floor, and keep the toes up. And we're basically going to reach down towards that hamstring with a nice hip hinge, pushing our butt back so that we get a nice stretch through the hamstring. Because we're now finished our exercise, we can now hold static stretches. We're going to switch legs. You should be feeling that through the hamstring of this back leg. One more time each side. Switch. Excellent work. You can come down to a kneeling position. We're going to stretch the quadricep and the hip flexor. So we'll bring one leg out in front. We're going to reach back behind and grab the foot and the ankle. We're going to squeeze our glutes and bring our pelvis forward, trying to aim our pelvis towards the front heel, keeping the body upright. And you should be feeling a stretch through the hip flexor and the quadricep of the leg that's in back. For a deeper stretch, you can lean further forwards. You can bring your torso more upright, then you can bring your heel closer to your butt. We'll switch the legs. And as this is the cool down, really use this time to regain control of your breathing. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Try to breathe from your belly. Switch it up one more time each side. And one more time, let's switch. And relax. To finish off, we're going to come to the child's pose, both hands in front, and lean back, drag the hands behind you, try to bring your butt as close to your heels as possible. Make sure that you extend those shoulders, reach as far away as possible, and try to retract the scapula so that they are sitting squarely on the back of your thoracic rib cage. Lean to one side and then the other for a slightly deeper stretch. Excellent work. And that wraps it up. So thank you very much for joining me today. That was a body weight strength and mobility workout. Please join us here on Human 2.0 Fitness, where we have free workouts for body weight strength training, mobility, and flexibility Monday, Wednesday, Friday of every week here on YouTube. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you on the next one.